Hello, hello. Welcome to Strike a Match. I am your host, Terry Finnegan Lynch, and I'm here in partnership with SM Enlightenment Radio to emphasize that positivity is everything. And, when I get prepared for this program, there's this deep, heartfelt feeling of appreciation and gratitude that there are shakers and movers out there saying that we want to carry a message. We want to influence how people think and then how they behave and feel in their lives. And, to partner with SM Enlightenment Media and to be on their radio station every Sunday is just a tremendous opportunity for me as a life coach. I love that I work with families. We're coming up on Father's Day. There can be a lot of, great things that can happen on Father's Day, and then there's a lot of heartache. It's not always easy to celebrate holidays within a family. And if you're in pain, I'm holding space for that. If you need to talk, please reach out to me. My website has a calendar. You can book an appointment. They're free. But if you're struggling, that's what life coaches do. We are there for that conversation. And if there's a connection, great. Strike a match. Just if you're feeling anything right now coming up on Father's Day, whether it be with your dad or your husband and your children or, whatever, and you want to talk about it, seek out familylifestylequest.com and make a complimentary appointment with me and see if we can make it feel better before Father's Day actually arrives. Okay, so what do I do here on Strike a Match? Well, Strike a Match is about two things. One is igniting a curiosity about how to change things in your life. Sometimes it's motivated by trauma. Sometimes it's just a little tiny spark that says, oh, I'd love to do this a little bit different. So the strike is, can you take action? And taking action is actually listening to this broadcast. It's about being curious about what positivity can do in our lives and how this coaching model that I'm a part of is an answer to many, many unmet needs. We never as coaches dismiss psychiatry or therapy or counseling. We are an adjunct to anything that you're already doing. And if there's nothing that's going on for you to move the needle, coaching may be a wonderful way. You don't have to be in crisis to get support. You can just need a new perspective. So in my show, I bring to you four, but the three anchors of my program are a fun fact, a positive tip, and a cartoon. So tonight we're going to start with a positive tip. No, excuse me. We're going to start with the fun fact. I put myself ahead of schedule. So this is from the INLP Center. It's a life coaching resource, and they have a study of the benefits of life coaching, because I don't want you to take my word for it. There's lots of ways out there to verify that life coaching can make a difference. So this is their number 2 research time-tested fun fact. So a different perspective. We are often consumed by our own opinions, life experiences, and way of thinking. A life coach can provide a new and often helpful perspective on things. So it's very simple language. It's like, yeah, no duh, I get it. But it's really true. The first statement in that fun fact about our perception and experience and therefore a way of thinking, our opinions of things, can get really rooted in our habits, how we actually behave and respond to the world. And they're very hard to break. They're so accessible, and we repeat them over and over and over. And it's like, I don't even know how to consider something different. And that's one of the beautiful things about a life coach relationship, is that we gently introduce a new perspective, because for me, I'm trained in habit change, which is opinions, perspective, and behavior. And we look at what's not serving you. And, the funny thing is that what we do in our 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond, we generally created before we were in middle school. Between like age 6 and 14 is when we started to create our mindset about how we respond to the world. And of course, I say this probably in every episode, because it is the root of why we do what we do. We do it because we created it in our response to ourselves, to others, in the world when we were very little. And if you're a parent, you know that when you have little ones making their decisions at age 6 to 14, they don't have a lot of resources. And we didn't either. But once we anchor our system of how we respond to ourselves, others, in the world, it becomes pretty solid. And we keep using it over and over and over again with some little tweaking here and there, but it ultimately stays the same. So it's not surprising that by the time we get into our 20s and 30s and beyond, it's tired and it's not really working all that well, but it's our go-to. So perspectives like this could be how we respond to the world as I like to control things. So everything I have is organized and explainable, and I march things out, and my home is meticulous, and my desk is perfect. And then you have a second child and everything falls apart. Your system doesn't work anymore. Why? Well, because there's a piece missing, and life coaches help you find that. Or you could have, a victim hero mentality, or you could have a passive aggressive mentality. You could have a bully mentality. You could have a recluse mentality. And all of these ways that we respond to the world are not wrong until they stop serving us in the way that we deserve to be. So what a life coach does in a very, very safe place is look at what are your systems, what's working, what's not, and how do we shift in a gentle, loving way into a new idea. And, having an advocate with you on that quest really makes it possible. We can't necessarily change a lot with just a decision. We really need to go back into our programming, identity, and beliefs to really make sustainable change. And that's what coaches are trained to do. So the fun fact for today is that coaches help you change your perspective. And just take a minute right now and think about your 3 most go-to behaviors. So when life is going well, how do you respond? Do you celebrate? Do you say, well, that's good, but I'm going over here? Do you panic because it's going well and, oh my gosh, I'm not accustomed to that? If we actually started to look at, be the observer of how we respond to stuff, you might say, that doesn't really serve me. So you're at work and your boss comes in and dumps a ton of stuff on your desk, and now it's virtual, so it's probably a little bit easier to avoid. But, there's that pile, and it's not even your job description, but there's the pile. What do? You say, oh, thank you. I'll get it done as soon as possible. or you say, all right, I'll get it done. There's this aggression, this resentment. Or it's like, wow, another challenge. This is great. I have to avoid my family for the next 4 days while I get it done. And if we just start looking at these things, then we can see a pattern that can be established about how we respond to the world and what our operating system is. And that is what coaches can help you see and revise and implement a new way. So I love that I have a coach who can hear me out on my patterns. The funny thing is that we don't really outgrow coaches. We may not need them all the time. I love having one all the time. Life is complicated, especially coming into COVID, through COVID, out of COVID, readapting to socialization, looking at what I want to create in my life, being an entrepreneur myself. That's a huge thing that's going on for me. And, I'm a better person for you if I have a coach. So it means that we can better serve those within our lives that need us the most if we're getting the support personally that allows us to see the perspective that we're operating in and offer a new one, something that is more creative and inviting and inspirational. So that's our fun fact for today. So thank you for hearing me out on that. I love to go to my, let's see, we'll do my comedy corner.